Tua and the Dolphins losing this game. Tua had a bad game. And I mean, like, I'm not going to get on here and rip him up for it because, look, this game, Tua had a bad game. This game was every Tua hater and every Tua doubter's absolute dream. He looked really rough at times, and he just had a bad game. However, I don't feel like it's fair to just point at Tua at this point in one singular game and say, I told you so. Like, we have significantly more evidence this season as to who Tua is. We've seen him put up a lot of stats, a lot of touchdowns, but coming into this game, he was first in this and first in that and first in this and first in that. And we have significant evidence this season of who Tua has been up to this point. So I don't feel like it's fair to look at one singular insular game and say he's not those things. Now, I'm not a big Tua guy. I've been on him his entire career, but every single person is entitled to a bad day at the office, and Tua just had a pretty rough day at the office. That all being said, I do believe that this 49ers game revealed the truth about Tua Tagovailoa, and that is that Tua's ceiling is Dak Prescott. They are both in the space of good to very good and most likely not elite, and they're also typically very good distributors of the ball. However, the team typically carries them a little bit more than they carry the team. And that's not always a bad comparison, okay? But let me kind of dive into why. This season, Tua has had his best games against the 24th ranked pass defense of the Ravens, 25th ranked pass defense of the Lions, 19th ranked pass defense of the Bears, 26th ranked overall defense of the Texans, and a middle of the pack Browns defense. That sounds a lot like Dak Prescott ritually beating up on the dysfunctional NFC East season in and season out. The very same Dak Prescott that really up until this season, we have seen struggle when things aren't perfect. We've seen Dak Prescott struggle when Tyron Smith is out. We've seen Dak Prescott struggle when the running game isn't there. We've seen Dak Prescott struggle with Amari Cooper before he had CeeDee Lamb. And in a game where Tua didn't have both of his tackles and he wasn't facing a middle of the pack or worse defense and his running game wasn't working and Jalen Waddle was a little bit banged up and things weren't perfect, he had his worst game of the season, which is very similar criticisms to what we have given Dak Prescott in the past. Now, this is not a bad place for Tua to be. There are people out there who absolutely love Dak Prescott and say Dak Prescott's a top 5 quarterback and they believe he's elite. And there's people who just believe he's a little bit of a fraud and he's getting carried by the team. And that is, once again, a very similar thing to what we say about Tua Tagovailoa. That said, I believe at this very second, Dak Prescott is better than Tua is, but he's also had a few years more of experience to grow and improve. But like I said, moving forward, Tua Tagovailoa very much feels like a Dak Prescott type of player where you're going to be heavily in his camp or you are going to be totally and completely out of it and feel like you just see the light and you don't understand what everybody else feels. So this game, I believe, revealed the truth about Tua, and that is he is Dak Prescott.